mijanno komnade. Dale pasito sin te metes, si no puedes ni de que tú Monaco que eres el tú. Viva so fanda, kisha, risofa, risofa. Viva so fanda, kisha, risofa. I carry the sorrow I never outgrew. I carry the sorrow I never outgrew. Still carry the sorrow I never outgrew. Just the sorrow I never outgrew. rock it back. Black cloud, heart attack. Locked and loaded, no rewind. Barbed wire syllables in my mind. Trigger fingers on every line. Toss the pins, make the static shine. Filthy mind, no remorse. Rope pull tight, deadly course. String me high till I hit the source. Let it snap, no divine recourse. Dig me deeper, don't let me breathe. 6 feet under my own disease. Dirt that's slow, let the ashes rise. Say your prayers when I kill the pine. I burn it out. Tear my lungs just to throw them away. I burn it out. Very deep, but I'll never decay. Cut the feed, shut the show. A metal teeth with venom flow. Shotgun opera, body cold. Pull the pill, let the chamber blow. Mama said I've been hexed. Hex rolls in, ain't nothing left. Candy paint, tripping death. Let them talk us to resurrect. Cosplay wide, mirrors cracking time. Bloodstained eyes, let them watch me climb. Pull myself up, won't break this spine. Face this, taste this, crown and the crime. I set it up. Shatter bones to throw it away. I set it up. Digging deeper till I rot in the clay. I set it up. Shatter bones to throw it away. I burn it out. 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 Tear my lungs just to go away. I burn it out. Very deep, but I'll never decay. I burn it out. Tear my lungs just to go away. I burn it out. I burn it out. I burn it out. can end the curse of life. Still saying my name. No one can erase what my spirit has done. I carry the shadows beneath every song. Empires collapse, but I stayed the same. Watch crowns turn to dust, still choking on names. No peace in the victory, no rest when I fall. Just ghosts at my heels every step that I walk. They call it a gift, this unending breath, but I've seen the truth. It's a slower death. I cannot die. No grave will take me. I cannot die. No measure for my soul. Denied, denied. No death, no peace. The reaper turns away, his scythe grows dull. My soul too stained, too stubborn to fall. I beg for the end on 1,000 nights, but dawn always finds me down in my plight. One day the war ceased, the world grew still, yet still I walked against my will. I cannot die. No grave will take me. I cannot die. No measure for my soul. Jot, a jot. No death, no peace. Blinding and pure, a gate of white pearl, a figure demure. St. Peter stands waiting, book in his hand, keys to the kingdom, or final command. He looks in the book, my name is not there. I cannot die, not even in grace. I cannot die, rejected at the gates. Judge, a judge, no heaven, no hell. Just endless war.
You're bulletproof till the bleed kicks in. Posture loud, but the math don't lie. Every bluff has a body count side. You poke, you prod, you test the wire, then act shocked when the room's on fire. Not bad luck, not fate, not chance. It's the tax on ignorance. Clock keeps time with a crooked grin. Every shove spins the wheel you're in. You don't get grace, you don't get clout. You get the bill when it brags out. Say it slow, let it land. Consequences shake hands. Roll the dice, now chew. Stop the round, find out you think it's a joke. Tell it ain't. You think you might touch. Too late. Hey, 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 hey. You like a match. Watch it fall. Say it loud, say it true. Every move comes due. No rewind, no out. Fuck around, find out. Ow! I sit still, dust don't move. Light hits frames like it's got proof. Edges curl, smiles feel staged. I know the fire lost the age. Trace my face, owes me rent. Every grin got interest bent. You moved on, I stayed sharp. Buff the ache like modern art. Don't miss you, miss when I matter. Memory lies, cuts out the laughter. I still run through the pictures, but I never look at 'em. Hey,
You say you don't.
I still flip through the moments, but I never touch back. Hey,
But you do.
I run through the pictures, never look at 'em.
Never look at 'em.
You bent easy with the weather. I clenched hard, called it pressure. You wore peace like it fit. I made norms just to exist. Every step you took hit close, like a language I chose not to know. I say proud, mean it some nights. Depends how loud the past gets inside. Don't hate you, hate reflection. Truth keeps needing redirection. I still run through the pictures, never look at 'em. Hey, things talk slick, I don't trust 'em. Hey, you fix it. I still flip through the moments, never go back. Hey, Tighten the mask. I still run through the pictures, never look at 'em. Hey, if I don't see clear, I don't fix it. Hey, I'll fix it. I still flip through the moments, never look at 'em. Hey, now can't shut, always do. Just gotta stop arguing true.
You're listening to Dancing with Ourselves, a totally rad 80s podcast.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, we're all here. We're all in our spots. It's a beautiful
So
thing.
they're all in the correct spot on the screen.
Yeah, look at this. Figured out that the last moment of how to make it go to DWO, I realized what I did wrong with retro current, Jeremy.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it was set. There was this one setting I have that was set to private. And
Okay.
so
Yeah, because I came in, it wasn't live, but I saw it live on Eagle Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just kept toggling back and forth, and finally there it was.
So a couple of things here as we're going forward. This is different from Zoom because your microphones are more sensitive on this, and I can hear all the clicking. I can hear all that, so the listener's going to hear all that later, so be cognizant of that stuff. Also, if you don't have a mic, you're going to need one eventually because, again, all that is amplified. Can you hear that when you're that clicking? Like, I'm not sure which one it is, but someone's clicking. There's it goes again. Click.
That one was me.
Yeah. So,
and I imagine typing's a nice. Let's see.
yeah. Well, that's because you're not set up right with the microphone, I guarantee you. Because it's going to be real if we have the if we use like the headphone stuff, and you're going to hear this stuff. You're going to hear. You're going to hear the breathing and all that because you can, like Jeremy, I think yours, you can hear the breathing through. Yeah.
It is sensitive.
It is.
It's much more sensitive.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed. So just going to have to be cognizant of that or drive our viewers away, one or the other. You know, have them going, I can't listen to Jeremy breathe anymore into the microphone.
Yeah. I'm just thankful I'm breathing.
That's right. We're going to have our first Harikiri listener or something, you know. But yeah, guys. So hey, we're actually live. All four of us are here. This is great. Invited some people to jump in the chat. I'm not going to try and even look at the chat because I can do all of it, but it just takes me away from what I need to be watching on this side. So this is what we're going to do. We go live like this, and when we're done, the recorded episode will be out. There is no editing process. So
So Jimmy's level sounds really, really low on this end.
Does
Is
it?
anyone else experiencing that?
Yes.
My level sounds really low.
On this end, Josh's is really low because he's muted right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make it really low.
And that
How's that?
that breathing into the mic, man, that's going to be the whole show. If you do it, like if your mic's there and you're, doing that, it's
Might
gonna.
have to move it up a little
Yeah,
bit,
it's.
Jeremy.
I raised my
Like a Borg. Yeah, put it over your eye.
I raised my volume. Is that better, or no?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Okay. Matter of fact, I'll put it up around 90. Is that? I thought it would be too loud, but apparently not. So how was everyone's week?
Good.
Good?
Can't complain.
Yeah? Well, you could.
It's cold.
Did you guys get
it was 10 degrees this morning when I got up. So
Did
that
did you guys get snow or heavy ice or anything like that?
yeah, it was ice. Everybody kept trying to call out of work. My wife has had the last 2 days off, and I get it for a school teacher because at 10 degrees, standing at the bus stop's a little brutal for the youngins.
Yeah. Well, didn't our parents have to walk uphill both ways, barefoot in snow or something like that?
Right.
I always get reminded that my dad had to drive a 1970 Super B with a big block through the ice storm of 78,
right.
just so that I was not born in the back seat of a 1970 Coronet Super B.
Super B.
Yeah.
Conceived and born in the same spot.
There's a reason why it's Mopar or no car.
Yeah. Wow. So what do we got tonight, guys? I was jumping around the intrawebs as the kids call them, and I came up. I saw a post, a Gen X post, and since we're Gen X and we stay in the 80s or try to at least, it was, why is Gen X comfortable with contradiction? And I thought of that, and I went, are we comfortable with contradiction? That's the first thing I thought of. So you guys tell me, is our 80s decade and us as Gen X, are we comfortable with contradiction? Do you guys agree with that statement?
I am.
Yeah?
First thing that comes to mind. Yeah, you ask your parents to explain something that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And they turn around and look at you because I told you so. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Just take it. We are the authority.
Yeah.
They didn't have a good answer. It was handed down to them. The only explanation is because I said so. That's why.
So does Gen X do that to their kids, do you believe?
No.
No?
We were the generation that broke that curse. We also created helicopter parenting and all the other stuff. The everybody deserves a trophy because we got the contradiction. We experienced it. We were comfortable with it, but we also didn't revisit it, I don't believe, on our kids.
Is it one of those things of I want to make my kid's life better than what I perceived my life to be or something? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
I don't know. My parents weren't really. I don't think that their childhood had that much of an effect on their parenting as on my brother and I, as kind of what they went through. You know, they kind of went through some rough patches. My dad got run over by a drunk mailman, and it almost killed him.
Wow.
And he still has a limp today because of that. But I mean, he's a man. You know, he went off.
You kept in touch with the mailman? That's amazing.
Well, I didn't keep in touch with him. I mean,
I just figured since he was limping.
Well, I actually have a copy of the of the legal battle that went on after that, because it was a
Oh,
postal mailman, and he was from um, I think it was from Brazelton or Auburn. I
okay,
forget.
that's amazing.
Yeah. So, but my dad he rode his bike, and he used to ride on 124. It was what it is today, and so one day the mailman veered off the road and was just going to do a quick drive by to the mailbox. And my dad was riding his bike up and down my grandparents' driveway, and he came in too close. And next thing I know, I mean, he struck my dad, and my dad was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I mean,
How
probably
old was he?
shouldn't have lived. Um, I'm guessing based he was in second grade.
Oh
So
wow.
what would that put him? Maybe nine? I
8.
don't know. 8, 9,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So
Did the family know the mailman? I mean, was it like it is?
So the story I've always been told to me is that the mailman was known for being intoxicated while he delivered the mail. You know, you hear fable stories like this, and you think there's just no way. But I don't know. Maybe there's some truth to it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think people get involved as quickly as we think or like to think people would. You know what I mean? On an issue like that, like when there's a known threat somewhere, it seems like people play the distant kind of polite route and not address versus address. You know what I mean? Do you guys feel the same way or no?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't know if that's an American thing or what, but that kind of I'm gonna stay out of it.
Yeah. That's that mentality. Like, it doesn't bother me. It's not me. It's not involving me at the moment, right?
until
'Cause most
until
of
it
the times,
does,
right?
right?
Exactly. Until
Yeah,
you're made to care.
right.
Until your kid gets hit by him in the driveway, right?
Or your
Then you
dad
go.
gets hit by the drunk mailman, right?
Yeah.
Which reminds me of, not trying to make it funny, Jeremy, but it reminds me of the mailman on Funny Farm, Chevy Chase movie, Funny Farm.
Yeah, he used to drive by, and
Yeah.
what would he do? He would yell or
Yeah,
something.
just like his truck was backfiring, he'd throw the mail out, and
Yeah, throw the mail out. That's right.
everyone's just like, "Oh, that's drunk Cletus,"
Yeah.
same thing you're talking about.
But you know the irony
Hmm.
is my parents always preached to us not to sue anyone. You don't sue anyone. It's not biblical, is what they used to tell us.
Hmm.
But I think, and then going through what my dad went through, that was kind of eye opening for me a little bit. Like you
Uh-huh.
were saying, the beginning. What was it you say? Did you say Generation X is not comfortable with contradiction, or they are?
Is comfortable with contradiction.
Yeah, I guess I was comfortable with it.
Hmm.
I didn't dare raise the rebuttal there and say, well, your parents sued the postal service, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like in today's litigious society, the drunk mailman hits your 8-year-old. That sounds like it's a pretty big payday.
yeah. Do you remember? You guys may be too young, but back in the late '80s, do you remember Domino's Pizza used to have this 30-minute delivery or free?
Oh yeah.
Well, there was a case in Buford where a Domino's driver, and I happened to work at that Domino's, but not at that time, but a driver ran a stop sign and struck another automobile. And that whole policy ended as a result of that case, because that man, I don't know if that man's still living or not, but he was paralyzed, and it changed his life. He owned a big cabinet company in Buford, and anyway, so yeah, that changed everything. I forget where I was going with that, but yeah.
Uh, you were talking about your pops getting hit by the drunk mailman. Were you tying it into that?
Yeah, I think so. And Josh made a point about
Oh,
how big
yeah,
of a payout
litigation.
that would be. Yeah, litigation, and how that particular. I mean, you can Google that story. That it's around the late '80s sometime, and
Mhm.
how that one incident changed the Domino's policy. It was no longer 30 minutes or less or for free. It just
Mm.
became 30 minutes as our target, but you don't get the pizza free if we don't make it.
Yeah. Avoid the Noid, man.
Avoid the Noid. That's right.
That's what they said. How long did you work at Domino's?
So I worked, it wasn't real. I mean,
It was.
I spent maybe 87, like fall of 87 through summer of 88.
Yeah. And what made you
Just-
pick Domino's?
Well, it was right down the street and it was new.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I was living with my mom at the time in Buford,
Mhm.
and there was just a few restaurants then. Yeah, like McDonald's. I'd already worked there. So that didn't work out. So I worked at McDonald's. And then Domino's opened and I worked there. And then Little Caesars opened and I went there. So I kind of bounced around, low skills. I'm still in high school.
Yeah.
Rode my bike to work. So
Good times. You should have tried Hungry Howie's.
I should have tried Hungry Howie's.
You
But
should've.
I didn't know what that was at the time.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a Hungry Howie's. Is there one even in Gwinnett? You said there was one in Lilburn, right?
There used to be, but I'm pretty sure that one's
there is.
closed.
There's one on 29, not far from the old skating rink.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I know there was one on Jimmy Carter when I was at the one on Indian Trail.
How is their pizza? I've never had Hungry Howie's pizza.
Sublime.
Well, they're everywhere down here. So if you guys come down here,
the
we'll
old
go eat.
bubble crust was the first time I remember seeing it. I was used to everything being uniform and packed into either a pan, like a pizza pan pizza. This is the first time I saw like a hand tossed crust that bubbled up on the edge. Now, if you wanted like a 2 head of lettuce salad, though, you couldn't beat that.
Yep.
Like a 9-pound salad with
Salads,
peppers.
subs. Yeah. And the flavored crust is what really made it the best for me.
Dad never really got into the flavored crust. I didn't even realize that was a thing. It was just always mushroom and pepperoni. That was it.
Yeah. Garlic, butter, cheese crust with sesame seeds.
So are they the ones that pioneered the flavored crust?
Not real sure. I'm going to go ahead and say yes, but I'm probably lying.
I thought it was Papa John's right up until this revelation. So
yeah,
I have to rethink a lot of things at this moment in time.
Your whole world has been flipped upside down, dude. Yeah.
The paradigm, it has shifted.
All starts with Hungry Howie's. Yeah, great pizza, Hungry Howie's. Shout out Hungry Howie's. And so Little Caesars back then too, I really liked. Little Caesars seemed to have changed their product a bit.
Would you guys agree that the 80s was the golden age for pizza? I mean, I know it kind of started in the 70s.
Like golden age how? Like golden age meaning we had buffets and delivery and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, and a variety. You had more variety, and there was a pizza place on every corner.
Okay, let's try and list them from memory without going to the interwebs. So the big ones are obviously Pizza Hut and Domino's, right? And we're staying in the 80s kind of. So Little Caesars. We already talked about Hungry Howie's.
The king of 80s pizza for me was Ken's Pizza.
Ken's, yes. Pizza Inn.
Mazio's and Ken's.
Mazio's, Ken's, Pizza Inn. How about Godfather? Yep.
Godfather's Pizza.
Okay, what else? The fun places like Chunky Cheese and Showbiz.
Showbiz, and then the Temu version, Sergeant Pepper's, which out in Stone Mountain.
Sergeant Pepper's, yes. And we haven't even gotten
was Little Caesars around in the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah.
I worked there. 88.
Yeah.
Pizza sucks.
Pizza.
Yeah, but it's consistent. They are still to brand.
It's $8, right?
Yeah. Used to be like $5. You get in there, you get $5, $5 large or something like that.
Yeah, I ordered
like
a regular large
topping.
pizza from.
Ready.
I like Marco's. Now I don't know when they started, but I got just a deluxe pizza the other day. I was craving. I was like, ooh, I want to have them bring me one. It was $52 by the time it got here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife looked at the receipt. She goes, "What the fuck did you just pay for a pizza?" I was like, "I was really hungry."
Yeah. I can't seem to order pizza from the local Pizza Hut or whatever without with everything when it's done being like 75, $80, you know.
So were you guys the ones that were talking a couple weeks ago? I can't remember if it was you or someone else about Bullwinkles. Does that ring a bell on Jimmy Carter?
Oh, I remember Bullwinkles.
You remember
My
that?
dad used to taste that one. That was great.
Yeah,
I totally
it's like
forgot about that.
one of those kids places like you were talking about, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
However, I remember they had like water fountains in there, and they would do like a water show, kind of like Bellagio at in Vegas or something.
Yeah, it was almost like stadium seating with,
Mhm.
as opposed to the tiers and everybody facing in, you had the tables. I remember being up several rows, several layers, and yeah,
I don't
remember them doing
know.
our house. Yeah,
Oh, they did Our House by Madness.
yeah, yep,
Cool.
yeah.
It didn't last very long, I don't think.
Well, it was already a couple decades past their prime because in the '80s, it was our parents who were bringing Rocky and Bullwinkle into our lives. We very rarely did it pop up. You had to have Nickelodeon to see any of those reruns, along with like Super Chicken and Underdog.
So it was related to those characters. See, I don't even remember that. I just remember it was called Bullwinkles, but I'll have to do some research on that. I
I
want to see their
I know the
logo.
animation all went together, so I think of
Yeah.
that as all the same universe, along with Dudley Do Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, is Rocky and Bullwinkle, are those Hanna-Barbera or no?
I don't think so.
Well,
I th- no, I don't think so.
hmm.
No, I think they're part of the family that had Woody Woodpecker. Are they called Lance? Lantz? There's like a
Yeah.
little group of cartoon characters that were produced by one company. I think they were called Lance, and I believe they fell under that wing. But
Hmm.
I mean, I would think so. Also, like you said, Hanna Barbera. I mean, they had so many shows, so many characters. But I don't think Rocky and Bullwinkle were theirs.
Saturday morning cartoons. Speaking of
So
which, you
Rocky
guys,
and Bullwinkle was created by producer Jay Ward and cartoonist Alex Anderson, who collaborated on characters for the purpose of the show called the Frostbite Falls Review. The characters later evolving into Rocky and his friends. Writer Bill Scott also voiced Bullwinkle as a key creative partner in developing satirical humor and bringing iconic series to life. They were kind of their own standalone. But you had Boris and Natasha
yeah.
and Dudley Do Right of the Canadian Mounted Police.
And you got He-Man movie coming out, a remake. You guys see that trailer?
Yeah,
What do you think?
I was thinking about this. I keep because the people are gonna shit on it one way or the other. Somebody gonna have a big opinion about it.
Mm.
But I got to thinking about this concept of these things. Like people are gonna be like, "Whoa, look, the whatever the one character doesn't look the same as we remember him when we were kids or whatever the gripe will be." And I got to thinking, I was like, are these nostalgia bits, who are they for? Is it for 50-year-old me that I'm gonna go, oh, it's a fucking skeleton and a guy in a loincloth at this, do I want to see that? No, we liked that shit when we were kids. It was adventure, it was
Yeah.
but as a who's it? I don't. I'm just thinking about all of them that come out. It's
I
like
will go see it and tell you how it is. How about that? What I think
you know
it's
me in
for,
movies. I'll read about what happens.
what I think it's for is for us to be nostalgic and try and relate to our kids and go, hey, come with me. We're going to the movies. And I'm going to show you what cool really is.
Well, yeah, but then what happens is it's hyper realistic, right? And then, is it realistic enough, or did they do the characters just? That's the part where it turns into,
there
I
is
don't know.
not
Is it
enough
nostalgic
trend
at that point?
there's not enough trend in D-ball to make He-Man as character. We want to think of unhealthy, body images, and look at women's magazines. No, look at fucking He-Man.
Yeah. No, I
Skeleton,
mean, it looked
Skeleton is
good.
more ripped than anyone you know. Okay.
The trailer looked cool, but
Yeah.
again, like
Well, if we'll recall,
it would look super cool if it was 12-year-old me, right? I'd be
Yeah.
like, that's fucking crazy, awesome. Look at that. 50-year-old me goes, oh, all right, well, I guess.
so did the toys promote the cartoon, or did the cartoon promote the toys? What do you guys? Isn't it the toys are the mecca for that, right? For Saturday morning cartoons.
I believe that was one of the first ones where merchandising was set up first,
Yeah,
and then the cartoon came second.
yeah.
Uh,
The toys were
like,
awesome.
yeah, they were amazing.
The figures were great.
Well, where I'm going with this is, do you think the kids, the equal 12-year-olds today of Gen whatever that is, Alpha, is that what that is now? 12 years old? I don't know. Or is that Gen Z?
Gen 6, 7. I don't
Gen
know.
6, 7, exactly. So the Gen 6, 7, right? Do you think they care about the He-Man toys from the 80s? And if the toys aren't re-released, is the realistic movie gonna do anything? That's my
Right.
question. Yeah.
Who does it appeal to? It's going to appeal to people our age.
Great question. But I think Kane's on to that, where the same thing with Star Wars. I'm not sure, the newer Star Warses that came out, Rise of Skywalker and so on. They're not really for the 77 era watching A New Hope people. That's to make new generation lovers of Star Wars, I think.
They have diverged drastically from the hero's journey.
Yeah.
That full circle arc that is set up for the storyline.
That's right. So yeah.
But if they nail the landing on this one, we might get a live action Thundercats, guys. I'm just saying.
We might.
All right.
Now-
Now I'm listening. Now I'm listening.
Yeah.
Did
Look,
He-Man come on
Katara,
Saturday
hear
mornings?
me out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did it come on Saturday mornings?
Yeah. Remember
I didn't
that's
watch
by the power of Grayskull. He holds a sword up.
Well, I can remember seeing it like after school on one of the UHF networks, but I don't remember seeing it on Saturdays.
I think that was a weekday cartoon. I mean, we had cartoons all over the place.
That's a good point. I'm not sure if it was exactly Saturday morning, but it was it was in the cartoon lineup.
But two things, Jimmy, I want to mention or respond to something you just said.
Respond, sir.
Minutes ago. You said do the basic. I'm paraphrasing here, but you said, do kids care about the cartoons or the film driving the interest
toys.
in the toys? Yeah. And so my response to that is, there are so many cons out there. I don't mean con as in gimmicks. I mean cons as in fan cons.
Mhm.
And if you look at these things, kids aren't going to the fan cons. It's people our age. And they're they've got to have the special edition, or they may have the same character, like 4 or 5 different wearing 4 or 5 different clothes or something. It's just, I don't know. I collect things, but I'm just not into it. I work too hard for my money. I don't want to spend it on crap.
It depends on what you find value in, what you find interest in. Everybody's got their niche. I'm sitting here in my son's room because he is currently at college, and I'm looking at a 18-inch Link statue, a 10-inch Mega Man statue, Sonic, a whole bunch of Metroid figures. I've got a Kirby over here, and I've got anime and Resident Evil stuff up on the walls. I think there's enough out there that there's going to be a market if it hits right.
Jeremy, your inclination seems to be right. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, largely considered a quote Saturday morning style cartoon of the 80s. due to its immense popularity. But technically, it was a first-run syndicated series. Unlike network shows, it aired on local stations, often in the afternoon, allowing for a weekday schedule. So it came on every day.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Same with GI Joe and Thundercats. They Hanna-Barbera kind of hemmed up most of what we saw on Saturday morning. With Thundar the Barbarian and all the
Super
other
Friends.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Man, those are awesome. And shout out to Me TV Tunes. It's a new network. It started coming on about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. And on Saturdays, all they show are old Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And they're showing 2 hours of Super Friends, like from 1973 to 1977. They're so good. I mean,
Was the
so dramatic.
Jetsons Hanna-Barbera?
Yes.
Do you
Yeah.
know they only made like it's a tiny amount of episodes of that show? Like I forget, I want to say it's like 17 episodes. It's not a lot.
Really?
Let me double check that, or maybe I'm
Wow.
making that up.
I know it's got to be more than 17, but
Well,
it wasn't a large amount for their popularity. And to have crossovers with the Flintstones and animated
yeah,
Flintstones movies with them.
Yeah, Flintstones were prime time. They were on Friday nights. Used to
Yeah.
compete against the Brady Bunch.
The original
wow.
run from 62 to 63 only had 24 episodes.
Okay.
Then they brought it back 85 to 87 with
I remember
41
that.
episodes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it must have been that first number. I read that in a Guinness book or something at some point. You know, one of the toilet books. It's on the back of the toilet.
They tried to reboot the Flintstones in the 90s, remember? The
I
movie?
remember the live action movie.
Yeah.
The movies, yeah.
Yeah.
With John Goodman?
John
Wasn't he-
Goodman and
Rosie
Halle Berry.
O'Donnell.
Rick Moranis was
And
Barney.
Rosie O'Donnell.
And
Yep.
Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, she was who? Betty?
She was Betty.
Who was Wilma?
That's a downgrade.
And you know that kind of rode the curtails of the Jurassic Park films had came out the year before,
Yeah.
and you saw a lot of the same graphics and use of the dinosaur animatronics that they had trophied in Jurassic Park. You saw them used in that movie, The Flintstones, which I was one
you
of those
guys
that had to
remember
go see it.
Do you guys remember the show with the dinosaurs? I forget what it was
Land of the
called.
It's
Lost.
called Dinosaurs.
No, there's
No,
there's dinosaurs is the one they're talking about,
Oh.
Jimmy. But Land of the Lost was awesome as well.
Yeah,
The one I'm thinking of had like the rubber suit dinosaurs. And it was like
it's called Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was,
the
and it was on,
Sinclairs.
came on Friday nights.
Yeah, it was like a
Sitcom.
yeah, it was like
It was basically
Rosie
Roseanne,
O'Donnell
but
show,
with dinosaurs.
or Roseanne. It reminded me
It
of
was
Roseanne.
basically Roseanne with
Yeah.
dinosaurs
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
and a foam baby dinosaur.
Right, that's right. I don't know why that. just
So
popped
funny
in.
thing, Jeremy, you were drawing the link between Flintstones and Jurassic Park, and what
Yeah.
I find humorous is I haven't seen either one of them, but I did work at McDonald's when
Yeah.
when the Flintstones came
Yeah,
out,
those-
and
those
I have
glasses.
those crystal glasses
Yeah.
somewhere, full set of all those crystal glasses that are crystal glass dinosaur.
That's a
bone
Jeremy
Flintstone.
item there. That's a
They were
Jeremy
they
item
were
for
they
sure.
were shaped like tree stumps and
Stumps and
rocks.
like dinosaur fangs.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got them somewhere.
I don't know if those held hot beverages. I just remember you could buy them maybe separately.
You would get them separate if you
Yeah.
got something else. You could buy those separate, and then I have a full run of the entire Animaniacs.
You know, that's a topic, Jimmy. We could do an entire show on.
What?
Are like
McDonald's prices?
promotional items at fast
Yeah.
food restaurants and things like that, because that's kind of gone away like the dodo bird, I suppose, or those type of
We used to go to
promotional gifts.
7-Eleven, and there would always be a topical thing like Kiss glasses or Star Wars glasses or cups, plastic cups. In a Slurpee,
Yeah.
you'd get those. Yeah.
Well, Burger King had the Star Wars
Yeah.
glasses. McDonald's had the plastic. There were plastic plates that
Oh yeah,
heaven forbid you consider putting them in a microwave because they just bubbled up like cheese.
yeah, they're worth
So-
about $10 each.
What was the huge? Didn't they do a huge promotion for Dick Tracy?
They did.
Wasn't that a big deal with the McDonald's?
I don't remember what they were
The
giving
the
out, but I
90s Dick
remember-
Tracy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It came out in '90.
With
Yeah.
Madonna.
Madonna was in it. Yeah. Never saw it though.
I mean, they're still doing so with the Avengers. They had little Avengers, and they'd link. I've got a couple of them sitting on my safe right now. I wonder when my son gets it.
So back to the original question or the original idea about the contradiction element. Another thing I saw as a comment was talking about Gen X being good at liking something and being able to criticize it at the same time. I guess is that not a thing of recent generations, being able to declare your affiliation with something and have the ability to criticize that thing at the same time? I don't know. Maybe that's what I see sometimes when I think I'm looking at the news and I'm looking at people and I think they're like, man, you're dying on a hill and something that doesn't seem like a big deal to me type thing. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the lack of capability of identifying self in something and being able to be critical of that thing at the same time. I don't know.
We've lost a lot of ideas, like holding two ideas at the same time, understanding that they can conflict and go, okay, we want too much of any one thing, and we complain until we get it to change.
It's all binary because that's what moves the needle, right? It's yes, no, this, that, good, bad, because we used to have nuance. Like you said, hold two ideas. I can see both, right? I get it in this situation or this context. Or now it's no. Everybody retreat to your camp and start fucking screaming at each other.
Yeah, and everybody gets to have their own camp because we have to have all the options in the world. Before it was you get two options for dinner, right? Eat it or shut up, right?
Eat it or
You either go hungry.
be hungry.
Yeah, those were your two options.
Yeah.
In my parts store, you want to walk down the wiper aisle. It's 20 feet long. How many options do you really need?
That is a good point. How many
Yeah,
cereals are there?
I end up buying it on like the coolest packaging because they're just windshield wipers in my head.
Well,
like,
and I can
or do
tell
I
you
want to
the
spend
differences.
$80 or $40?
Yeah.
And then you wind up in the middle because you tell yourself, well, the middle's got to be pretty good, right? And this one, the Rain-X or the Bosch or the
Kane,
whoever.
give the listeners something here. Give them some chicken. What is the best for the buck windshield wiper?
Well, for the
A freebie.
organization that I work with, we carry both those two brands that Josh identified. Now, those brands have different levels, and I explain it to folks very simply. A Chevette and a Corvette both have vet in the name, a Chevy bow tie on it, and came from Detroit, so they're the same, right? No, clearly they are different. You do get levels to these things. But there is no secret about it. There is no magical Kirkland's brand that this is the exact same thing as the no. You get what you pay for. You can get the same wiper blades that I was selling in 1998 for $12.99. Right now they cost $15. So inflation really hasn't taken hold. Technology has taken hold. So everything you see further down the other end, it is a spectrum from selling the car tomorrow to top of the line. Buy the level of quality you're comfortable with. It's a safety feature for me. I spend the money on the Rain-X. I've got the Rain-X truck and SUV on my Dodge Charger. And the organization that I work with, you can spend a couple extra bucks. So it's $4 per blade. And come next year, I can swap them out for free. And I can re-enroll just for that $4. So I'll never pay full price again.
We need a sponsorship. We need to say this place.
I did that. But I got the Rain-X ones, and do you want the insurance or whatever?
It's ACP. The answer is yes.
Well, I know, and I did it before, and I forget, or I don't have the paperwork, or it should be in the system. I guess
it is, but
I
if
completely
only
forget.
we had this magical little thing
Little
that
little
can
box.
set alarms. So what I recommend to my
enough
customers,
problems changing the filter in my fucking heater.
Yeah, well, I can't help you with that.
There's a filter in the heater?
Yeah.
Well, your HVAC in your house, or you're talking about your
yeah.
In your car, in the heater, there's a filter. The cabin filter, is that what you're talking
There is cabin air.
Oh, in a car, yeah, there's a cabin filter. There's a couple throughout there.
Dude, I thought you were talking about a car when you said the filter in the heater. And I'm like,
nah,
where's the filter?
Pointed up, not down, so I just keep it HVAC.
Yeah.
Home. Either way, put a Google reminder in your phone. Take a picture of the receipt so you have context. Because a year from now, when your phone wakes you up on a random Tuesday and says, "Go to Advanced Auto Parts," you're going to look at it and go, "You're not my supervisor," and hit dismiss. But yeah, that's because I'll spend the $80, and then I'll spend another $9 on the ACP, and then next year I'll get $90 blades for free. And if I'd like to re-enroll, I'll spend $9, and I'll come back in another year, and I'll get a set of blades for free. And if I want to re-enroll, so I keep getting $90 blades for $80 blades, way cheap.
Yeah, for 10% basically.
Wow, what value we're providing. Are there any windshield wipers you would say don't ever buy? Is there a brand where you're like, never buy this brand?
No, there's not a brand specifically, but again, there's levels to all of it. In our stores, it's literally set up as a spectrum, depending on where you are. I got the cheap on one side, I got the top of the line on the right side, and it as you go down from my store from left to right, it goes from selling the car tomorrow to the top of the line.
Mm-hmm.
Choose where you're comfortable. And I'm not a salesman. I'm a business person. I want you to feel comfortable. I will reiterate, it is a safety issue, and you're on the road with my family. So I'm going to pay attention if you take a left out of the parking lot or a right, because I'm going to have my go the other way.
Yeah. So we covered windshield wipers. That was
But
good.
the technology, you can get the same wiper blade quality that you were getting in the 80s right now.
Here we go.
Cheap ones. Technology did not just stay in the 80s, but you can still buy that 80s grade wiper.
Was there 80s technology in windshield wipers, or were they just the old pieces of rubber until Rain-X came along or something?
Well, I mean, Rain-X just turned into a brand. I mean, so in the 70s, I think Rain-X was still around. My dad used to tell me he used to put Rain-X inside his motorcycle mask, inside his helmet, so it didn't fog up. And that was really the first time I was used to that. And that was when I was young. But you had the old, it's just a frame style blade. You could refill them back in the day. By the time, and when I first started doing this, refills were still a thing. And by the time the customer came back the third time that day, throwing them across the counter, calling me everything but a child of God, they just buy new blades because they can click on like that. Nice and easy. Because there was different widths, different lengths, and every car since the mid 80s, passenger car, not truck, the driver and passenger side blades are different length. So you were still buying two sets of refills, and you're like, I'm going to save money and buy refills. You still got to buy two sets, which are going to cost the same as buying it.
That's a brilliant move by the auto industry to make sure they're two different sizes like that.
Don't assign any kind of altruistic or nefarious or division behind that. It's just a matter they wanted the driver to see more of the driver's side. The way the geometry came up on a passenger vehicle, the driver's side has a much longer blade, so as they're sitting with a longer windshield. So,
yeah, there's a conspiracy out there that Big Windshield Blade was behind that.
Driving it.
Big Windshield wants all your money.
I think there's direct links between them and Hezbollah, but I can't.
I'm sure there's some sort of federal funding through Minnesota.
Let's just say it.
Oh, here we go. Oh, beep. Great. Now Massad's after us.
This is
Yeah.
live.
This is it.
Anybody in
Yeah.
the chat?
Good job. Good job with no one in the chat. I don't know. Is anyone in the chat?
Mhm.
Who's watching the chat?
No.
I didn't think so. Yeah. And it should pop up in the middle. Like if I said something like if you guys did any chat, it should show up. Let's see. There it is.
Yeah, I was watching it, and Josh, are you rack smack?
Yeah.
Okay, then we're cool. Good.
It was going to be a rumble.
Uh-oh. Jeremy was
Somebody was
suiting up.
box.
Jeremy's not he's not like not on my show, sir. Not on my show. Jeremy taking action. So the whole we're good at contradiction, Gen X allegedly, and apparently we can hold two thoughts in the head of liking something and being able to criticize it, where I guess the group here is saying no, that's not a feature of people today.
I think we were better at recognizing we didn't understand all the nuances to an argument. And before we just straight up dismiss something, because like I said, our parents told us shut up and just do it because, but we learned later they had reasons for that.
Mm-hmm.
They just weren't going to go into it. We may have to discover that, or we weren't ready for those understandings at that moment in time.
We also didn't have the technology right now. Go, well, I'm going to verify this very stupid, minute point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can get down to the nitty gritty details.
Speed of information right there. And
Yeah.
then speed of malinformation too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You're saying we couldn't just double check whether or not Pop Rocks and Coke was going to end this?
No, you just believed it and then you propagated it, remember? You said
Absolutely.
you said, "Oh, some kid's stomach blew up cuz he drank Coca-Cola and ate Pop Rocks." And then another kid went and told another kid, "You know what happened?" Yeah.
The windshield wipers. You and your buddy could be arguing, right? No, it takes a 22 on that side and an 18 on the other, right? No, fuck you. That's completely wrong. In the 80s, you had, all right, let's get in the car, go to the store, look at the thing, ask the guy, because get out of
because I don't want to flip through a book. Right. I still have it to this day. Where's the book? I'm like, it's in 1999, sir. The book's been gone for a while.
There was something we were told. Did you guys hear this when you were a kid? Look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up. You
How
guys
do you spell this?
look it up. Yeah.
How am I going to look it up if I can't spell it? Dad?
Right.
Yeah.
Autocorrect isn't manual, analog.
Later on, I realized that was code for I don't know or I'm too lazy to look it up.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't care. Go figure it out.
Yeah. Look it up. Self-reliance in learning to spell when you can't spell.
Well, guy was in today, bless his heart. How much is this? As he literally holds the bottle of oil in his hand, I'm like, let me look where you just pulled that from. Where there's, so that's $10.79 for oil. Yes, sir. That's exactly what that's for. Oh, what weight is it? And this isn't like some backwoods guy who came down off the hill. He's driving a Lexus.
What weight is it? I don't know. Try the label, sir.
Maybe he couldn't read. Reading stats are pretty low nowadays, as I understand.
I don't disagree. He was old enough to be my dad, and he was driving a Lexus. He did not make it there. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think there's other things that just aren't meshing.
Right. So definitely had enough time to learn to read if he couldn't.
He's been around long enough.
I don't think he could. I don't think that he couldn't read.
Well, apparently he couldn't. If it's on there that says the weight, and then you're asking someone what is the weight, you either didn't bother to look at the thing you're asking about, or you can't read it, interpret it.
Yeah, I don't think I think it was more will than skill.
It is easier just to ask than do it yourself, isn't it?
It all depends. whether or not you've already asked the guy to go around the back
It,
of the rack to go.
it
grab
depends if you
something
need
else.
driving directions and it's a gas station.
Oh,
Uh,
back in the day, the directions you're gonna go down a fair bit, probably 3 or 4 miles.
Yeah.
If you hit the red barn, you've gone too far. If you see the old 55 in the woods, that's about right. That's by the old Moon place right there on Five Forks.
or better yet, when you see the dead cow on the left, you're going to see a right turn. That's Miller Road.
Yeah.
Don't go on Miller Road. Keep going straight.
don't
Like, why
go
did you
Miller-
tell me about Miller Road then? Now I'm going to be thinking about it. You know?
I want to know what's on Miller Road. Damn it!
Yeah.
We've
I
got to
love-
see this thing to
It's-
fruition.
It's like the Torino in St. Louis when the Griswolds are trying to get back on the expressway.
Is
Now,
that-
sadly, I watched a little documentary on the making of National Lampoon's Vacation,
Mhm.
and Marty, the guy that produced that, he's gone woke now, and he said he absolutely regrets making that scene in that movie.
With the dog?
No, that wasn't even mentioned. No, about the getting lost and ending up in the ghetto. in
Oh,
St.
and he's
Louis.
dead. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one.
Can
And they
you
start
feel the
robbing the
blankets?
car. They start robbing the car while they're giving him directions.
Yeah, the hubcaps.
Pull the hubcaps off.
Yeah. Why did he say he wouldn't do that scene? Did he say why?
He just felt it was offensive.
Did he say it was racist or something?
I think
Did he
that's
say it
what
was
it was.
inaccurate?
He was driving.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Does that or does that not happen in that
Is it-
geography? If it does, then it's a funny scene.
Yeah, that if it's truthful, then that
Yeah.
makes it funny. You know,
It doesn't
and
matter how you
that's what-
feel about it if it's truthful.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the problem and why humor is on life support. We're starting to see some breaths of it coming back into life, or some, but
Yeah.
we're fighting the entire time, the entire way.
Yeah. Well, at least we can handle contradictions, right, guys?
We can, but we
Yes.
can't. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. That's a paradox right there. We're walking contradictions. Everyone's a walking contradiction if you think about it. You mean to tell me everyone does exactly what they say all the time? No, they contradict themselves all the time. People contradict themselves all the time.
I mean, I don't. I know this is not a political show, and I don't want to get into the politics.
Oh, here we go.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to get into politics.
What
So
is
the whole
happening?
contradiction thing, for example, the fact that believe the science,
Mhm.
the one party is always pointing their finger at us. Well, you guys are backwoods. You don't believe the science, but we do believe the science, and the science didn't show that wearing a mask prevents COVID or a man can have a child, but yet we're the party of the science deniers.
Well, it's believe the science, but that's not what that means. That means appeal to authority, which generally is somebody who's appointed to a role, not necessarily qualified.
Which was the 80s. I think most people appealed to authority in the 80s. Most people, you know what I mean? They looked for the authority, the law and order of the Reagan years, right?
Yeah.
That's what you hear. That's what you-
looked to
Yeah.
the sage data coming from the AIDS pandemic from, oh wait, that same guy. Damn it, man.
Yeah.
You
You're going
can
to get
see-
AIDS off of a toilet seat, remember?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
water
AIDS
fountain.
AIDS was everywhere. It was everywhere but nowhere. Like you thought it was everywhere, you heard it was everywhere, yet I never heard of a person who had AIDS. Like me personally. Like I never
One
Yeah.
person I
Yeah.
knew, and I didn't know him. It was somebody's dad, but he got it, or he got HIV through a blood transfusion, which that was the big scary thing for people. Oh
Yeah.
shit, we don't know all this blood that's been donated, and it wasn't tested for that, right? They didn't know.
So why didn't people go crazy with masks or did they? And I just don't remember it. Did people go crazy
No.
during the 80s with masks and stuff like that? And maybe not necessarily the word social distancing. Maybe people were doing it on their own. Maybe, I don't know. Did that happen?
This particular population just used ball gags, so you know.
Whatever do
Little
you
rough around
mean,
the
Josh?
edges.
Yeah. Yeah. But then
I
it
remember,
kind of
you know,
ended. It just kind of ended
Well,
in pop culture. It just
I don't know how popular condoms were until maybe it was the time I
until he
was
first tasted
maturing.
one.
And oh, you did not say that. What is happening?
Already?
Oh, brother.
we
so-
see it as a cloud.
Yeah.
I didn't really observe like this push for the use of condoms until the whole AIDS epidemic scare. But you know what? Now that I think about it, I wasn't maturing. I don't think I took sex ed until around that same time. So maybe it was just all happening at once. And maybe it was happening before I didn't realize it. But I definitely noticed it when I was like in 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade.
I think it was big
So
condom.
you weren't paying attention to
condoms
condoms
behind
prior to 7th grade?
I probably didn't know what a condom was until 8th grade. to be
You know
honest
who I
with you,
blame?
Dane.
Yeah.
It's Big Wiper Blade.
Big wipers. Big wipers did it.
It's definitely it was Trojan and Big Wiper Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trico was leading the
Sex ed. Do they still have sex ed in school? Is that a thing? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's called sex ed.
I think it's just part of like health and
They must in
Health-
public
health and human
schools.
development, something like
yeah.
that.
I mean, they must do it younger in public schools if there's this whole talk about kids transitioning at young ages and stuff. They must.
I think a lot of that's getting slid in there. No euphemism intended.
Yeah. Both my girls were
Yeah, I think
homeschooled
middle
for a
school-
long
middle
time.
school is where that starts, I think.
Well, I mean, we had it in Gwinnett County when I was in elementary school, 5th grade. There was the awkward class where the one male teacher in the entire school, which for us was the principal, came and said, "Your body's going to start changing. You're going to get hair in places.
Look it
You
up.
need to bathe more often." Bless it. Hal Beaver. That is not a made up name. That was my principal at Brookwood Elementary School, and he did a yeoman's task there. And I can't tell you,
Hal Beaver was his name, huh?
Hal Beaver.
sure is.
I've got one for you.
Hey,
This
did
is
you
just-
get Mr. Beaver for sex ed?
Yes. It's Dr.
So
Beaver.
what's hilarious is
Dr.
years
Beaver,
later-
sorry. I'm sorry, Dr. Beaver. I didn't mean to
and
diminish you.
He may not, I'm sure at some point in time he's got his doctorate, so I'm going to go ahead and give him that credit. But I remember years later going out and testing a battery for a customer, and I look at this guy, I'm going, I know this guy. Holy cow, that is my elementary school principal, and I'm in my 20s. I said, "Sir, were you the principal at Brookwood Elementary?" I said, "You probably don't remember me at all, but I spent some time in your office, I assure you." He looked at my name and he goes, "I do remember you. Have your parents ever sorted things out?" I said, "Oh, hell no." He goes, "Just checking."
That
Well-
name, I like that name. That's funny.
You
And I
can't
s-
not like that name.
Mhm.
How about
it's one
this?
that will stick with you.
So Sam Darnold, the guy, the quarterback for Seattle, right? His grandfather was the Marlboro Man.
No.
Do
Really?
you
No
know what
way.
the Marlboro Man's name was?
No.
Yes.
Richard Hammer. Dick
Oh.
Hammer.
That man lived a life right there.
For the win.
So I was watching something on him. Apparently, he was a basketball stud back in the day, and he was, I think it was USC Berkeley or something like that.
The
I
Trojans.
can't remember. Was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, Detroit, USC.
Yeah. Big condom. They that was the last time they had like the NCAA
Are they in
championship
cahoots
or
with
Olympic
big wipers?
They are. They
Oh.
are. It's rubber is what it is. It pulls everything together, but keeps them separate.
There it is.
And that wasn't good enough for him. So he says, I'm going to go take up volleyball, and was on like the 1960 some odd
62
gold
or something
medal
Olympic
U.S.
team.
Olympic team for volleyball. Yeah. So Dick Hammer was a stud.
That's a T-shirt right there.
I'd wear that. Ask me about the Marlboro Man.
So sarcasm. Sarcasm plays into Gen X, I would argue. Does it play into these younger generations? Do you see the sarcasm in, I guess,
it's coming back.
Is it?
I think it's coming back.
Examples.
Stop being offended has taken hold in some of the younger. They've, they're like, wait, you guys used to, and if they see older movies, right? If they don't ever see that stuff, then they don't. But if they see older movies, they're like, hey, you can say that, you can make, and like, yeah, it's funny. We criticize the shit out of each other. You would just call your friend a fag for no reason,
Here, let me show you a Richard Pryor movie, and we'll see what happens. Your soul will either leave or return to your body. One of the two.
How does that happen? How does network TV go from being, let's say, a little crass, right, without censorship, to then
like your Archie Bunkers,
yeah, and to like where people would shut down a show because
he's not ignorant.
Yeah, how does that happen in 1 to 2 generations? Right?
It's a pendulum swing.
Yeah, but what occurs? No, talk through it. What happens that this pendulum swings? Don't just say the pendulum swings, right?
We want to be outraged by something. No, we want to be outraged by something, and we want to be on some form of an opposing side. We want to rage against something. So back then, it was I'm raging against the people who are sensitive, so we're going to be crass, and that became popular. And then it became popular to rage against the folks who were crass, and it's look, if you take a balloon and you squeeze one side, it's going to get big on one end. If you go back and squeeze that end, it's going to, and that's going to keep happening.
So what does the squeezing? That's what I'm trying to get to. What happens that the behaviors change?
It's popularity. I mean, if it's cool to be, crass, then everybody goes over to that side. It becomes a psychological thing where, oh yeah, well, it's not cool to do those things. What does that even mean? Do you agree with it? Well, no, but it's cool, right? Well, yeah, because okay, then why are we even doing these things? And eventually everybody just hits all the way hard right, hard left, go back.
So does
swing through the middle for a while?
Does the pendulum swing, the metaphorical pendulum, does it swing organically, or is it made to swing?
I think all forms of input will change the operation.
But I mean, you could. So, okay, does the pendulum swing from I'm not trying to say political left and right, but does it just go left and right, or is there dimension to that swing? Does it swing left, right, off center in an
orbital?
Orbital. Okay. Yeah. Could it
swings on a spectrum?
Is that what we're saying? Because if what we're saying is if a pendulum concept swings left and right, say, then that means you can always predict when you're going to be in the next side of the swing. If it only goes left or right, and if it only goes left and right culturally, then maybe it's as simple as a young generation always rebels against the older generation's standard.
I think that's a part of it.
Yeah.
That's and is it the 20-year generational cycle where, hey, at some point in time, bell bottom is going to pop back up again? I don't know.
Hmm.
It's the Jews.
Oh no.
Wow.
Doing all the
Josh has got
manipulating.
the heat.
I kind of see it as whoever's got a solution to some issue that people are facing. For example, so 9/11 happens,
Mhm.
and George Bush is our president,
Mhm.
and he wasn't very popular in the beginning. 9/11 happened, and then his popularity soared across America. He won re-election. Is that right? He
Mhm.
won
Yes.
re-election. He
Mhm.
won as a result of
Well, it was
his.
a contested one. That's the one Gore was suing
Hanging
on.
Chad.
No, that
The-
was the first one, wasn't it? That was in 2000. Gore versus Bush was
That was the
2000.
first one.
I
It
believe
was.
so.
It was Gore. It was. Didn't he run against Hillary?
Man, I don't even remember now.
Obama
Yeah.
ran against Hillary. I don't remember.
I don't
George
even
Bush.
remember now.
She may have ran. She didn't get very far, but yeah, I know this because this area where I'm located in Panhandle was
Howard
the
Dean.
deciding factor of what pushed Bush over the edge.
That's right.
Got the college the electoral votes that he needed, but yeah, I was just gonna say, I think sometimes it could be an event or if someone has a solution. Like Obama comes along, the way I see Obama, he came along and he's talking all these great things about he's speaking to people that didn't think that they ever had a chance in life. I'm not saying I agree with him, not at all, but I think that that was part of his selling point was that this whole hope and change. But and you, if we've said on this show before, and they say on the A team, hope is not a strategy.
Hope is a
So,
horrible battle plan.
it sure
John
is.
Kerry is who he defeated in his second run.
The second round, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The
That
Swift
was
vote.
that was the Swift boat thing, right?
Yeah,
That
Swift
Yes. And Jeremy, to your point, it a lot of times it's whomever is offering a solution. And if you don't have a problem, if you were able to present the problem and you already have a solution, that's what goes back to Jimmy's point of
Yeah.
can it be can the pendulum be pushed or encouraged one way or the other and
we
in
see it. We
combining
see it
those two
often.
ideas.
Yeah, the government creates some fucking bullshit
Absolutely.
problem, and then we're here to save you,
the whole,
right?
the
We're
whole
gonna
thing
help
about
you.
climate change. I mean,
Yeah.
so the way I look at for people that believe in climate change, I mean, the climate's always changing. Again, I don't want to get into politics, but I'm
It's
I'm
another
going to.
pendulum.
Yeah, right. So exactly for those people that worship this kind of thing, I want to ask them, what temperature do we need to set the world, the thermostat on? And I know from Super Friends, if you set it 1 degree off, plus or minus, Armageddon's gonna happen. So
Right.
anyway,
Meanwhile, Aquaman freezes his testes off.
back at the Hall of
Fun
Justice.
note: in the first couple seasons, Mr. Rush from Too Close for Comfort was the voice over for Super Friends. Ted Knight.
Oh yeah, he's
Knight. Also the guy
from
from Riders of the
Caddyshack.
Country
He's
Club.
the judge.
Judge from Bushwood Country Club.
Yes.
And so was Casey Kasem. He was
Casey Kasem.
he was Robin on
He-
Batman and
he was
Robin.
Hey,
Robin, he
he's
was
also
also-
Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Was he?
Yeah.
He was a whole bunch of characters.
Until Hank Azaria came along. Yeah, Hank
And then
Azaria
Hank
does
Azaria was
every
all the
voice
characters.
known to Simpsons, it seems like.
Yeah.
Most of them. Yeah.
Some that aren't allowed anymore. Maybe
That's-
they'll come back. I don't know.
That's right. That's right. He did that, right?
Apu.
Didn't he come out and say, I don't want to do Apu's voice? Or was that someone else
He
saying?
just didn't want to get canceled for doing Apu's voice.
'Cause
He was
he-
going to catch the check.
Because he's a white dude doing the Indian voice.
A stereotypical Indian gas station owner.
Oh, well, people.
I like well, who's the one now? Who's the like current one? Family Guy. Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
He does a ton of voices that are great.
Oh, he
and,
does. Yeah.
And he doesn't give it. He doesn't pull any punches. None of that. They don't pull any punches.
Yeah. So we covered wiper blades and cartoons and He-Man and
Big Rubber.
Big Rubber, contradictions, the fact that Jeremy doesn't like condoms. What else did we cover?
He has not liked them since middle school.
He's like, it takes away the sensation.
I didn't like them until I got I liked them until I got into my 50s. How's that?
Until you got in your 50s.
Yeah,
Just get
there's
snipped.
Proof behind me.
Right.
Yeah. You going to get snipped, Jeremy?
Probably.
Probably.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know.
Josh, put it
Don't
on.
ask me that question.
Put it on Poly Markets, Josh. Let's start betting.
What does Kalshi say?
Yeah.
Next question.
Next question. Yeah. I don't know.
I love the whole rabbit hole thing, and then you mentioned climate change and the government. So the government always wants to step in and help, right? So in the 80s, we remember Farm Aid.
Yes.
Farm Aid, Live Aid.
John Cougar.
Hearing
John
Aid.
Cougar and
Willie Nelson. Yeah.
what's funny is I always joke with folks about that is I blame John Mellencamp for the fact that your fuel pump is going to fail on you and we have ethanol in our gas tanks because we started allowing lobbyists because farmers are the only people who buy at retail and turn around and sell their product at wholesale. And then the government goes, we're going to step in and we're going to help. So they start adjusting costs because they start buying things. And the lobbyist goes, well, you can take this corn and you can turn it into alcohol, which can be turned as a fuel. You can do these other things with it. We can take the corn and make plastics. And so now we're starting to create things out of whole cloth that, or in this case, corn that didn't need to be. And the federal government's going to offer anyone selling corn a flat rate, whereas you can't control what the market's going to do when it comes to commodities such as crops and everything. If it's just a kick-ass year, then the cost of crops are going to be down in the hole because you've got too much of it. The federal government says, we're just going to do all these things for these corn producers. So what do? We now have monocrop agriculture. We now are over fertilizing, which is polluting the Mississippi River Valley. We have ethanol in everything. And I joke with folks, so you need to buy this fuel additive because John Mellencamp and Farm Aid were highly successful and the federal government stepped in to help.
Well, that was a good fairy tale ending. Yeah. Sleep tight, kids. The government's here to help. The government does help on some things. What does the government help on? Roads.
Ending your village.
I was going to say they're good at blowing shit up.
Blowing
Really
shit up.
good
Yeah.
at blowing shit up.
Government's really good at putting missiles through windows.
Right?
Really, really good at that. High success rate.
Very accurate. They figured it out, it seems. It seems like they figured it out.
The government's apparently really good at removing dictator presidents overnight.
When they are willing to execute, they are. Which everybody doesn't take into consideration. If we haven't removed your leader, it's because we've been holding back.
That's right.
It's not because we can't. It's just because we haven't.
Sleep tight.
Really, non-sarcastically, for me, I think the government does a good job at maintaining and preserving state parks. I think we do a really good job of that.
That's good.
Maybe it's too much land, and I didn't like the way, if you've ever seen the story about the Great Smoky Mountains and how that became, and those poor people were left with nothing. But they didn't have much to begin with, but then they're really left with nothing. But the whole state park thing, I think the government does a pretty good job at that. Just my opinion.
Gwinnett County does a very good job on the lower level, on the smaller level. Gwinnett County has a ton. Their facilities,
They do.
and
Yeah.
the parks and the greenways that they've put up everywhere, and they get used. A lot of times you see these things get put up and nobody messes with them.
Have you guys ever been to Settlers Bridge? You ever heard of that? Have you been there before,
Yeah.
Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it was. It used to be. It was an old covered bridge over in near Swanee, and between. It's right at the river, at the Chattahoochee River, that separates Gwinnett County from Forsyth County. Anyway, so that was an old bridge that people used to go and hang out there back in the 60s and 70s, and there was always a party going on back there. But anyway, Gwinnett County, I guess the police department they were fed up with always responding to complaints down that way because there were some subdivisions built down there. And so Gwinnett County just said to heck with it. We'll just build a park there. So they built a park. But I remember they filmed a movie there back in the 70s called Six Pack with Burt Reynolds.
Oh
And
yeah.
they actually drove a car.
No,
off
that's
of that
that's
bridge.
Smokey and the Bandit,
Smoking the Bandit.
right? Or
I
Six
think
Pack. Six Pack was with isn't Six Pack with Kenny Rogers, the racing movie?
Oh man.
It was Six Pack was Kenny Rogers. It was he
Yeah.
had a kid
Eh,
crew.
Yeah. And
Oh, okay.
because they jumped that car, as I always heard in Smokey
Yeah.
and the Bandit, the Trans Am, over Redan Park or Redan or whatever the name of it. I used to play football there when I
Redan.
was a little bitty kid.
Yeah, I
Mighty
jumped off
Mites.
this bridge now that I'm looking at it.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there's pictures of people would walk across the top of now there's no roadway, so there's no
No,
surface.
it's gone.
It's
Right, you
just
gotta
the
just go out
frame
on.
of the bridge is rusty.
But it is Smokey
Yeah.
and the Bandit you're thinking of, right? Where the black Trans Am jumps. Is that what
I
Burt
I
Reynolds?
I mean, I'm thinking of Burt Reynolds pretending to jump a car, but I don't recall it being Smokey and the Bandit.
Hmm.
Now, I could be wrong, Jimmy. I thought it was maybe I'm conflicting.
As soon as you said Six Pack, I remembered a Kenny Rogers movie called Six Pack. Saw it a couple of times.
I think you're right. Maybe it was there a movie called Gator?
Ooh, Gator. Yes, that is a Burt
Maybe
Reynolds.
that
And
was it.
wait a minute, Gator and let's see. There's another one called I can't remember.
Smokey and the Bandit says here they did a
Mulberry
jump in
Bridge.
Smokey and the Bandit over the Flint River,
Hmm.
which is
So-
located in Flint River Road in Jonesboro, Georgia, wherever that is.
I'm reading right here the iconic car jump over a bridge, specifically named Mulberry Bridge, occurs in 1977 film Smokey and the Bandit, Burt Reynolds, over a broken bridge to evade Sheriff Justice. Another notable high-speed jump. Well, that's Too Fast, Too Furious. That's not relevant.
How about the Dukes of Hazzard? There's a lot of jumps there, right?
That was all out in Covington and Conyers.
Yeah.
Well, you know the story about Settles Bridge. That could be old folklore. I was in high school, and we used to hear things about people would sacrifice animals back there. Just nonsense. That whole devil worship thing was so hyped up back in the 80s. And most of it was just total crap.
You kept showing up with a goat and nobody else would join you. You're like, this is bullshit.
This-
A goat and a bag full of candles.
Let's go.
Every time I come prepared. Yeah. There's just no commitment in this cause, man. I don't know, Jeremy. Was it nonsense? I mean, do you not see a lot of videos and stuff today indicating all that stuff is alive and well? Wouldn't it have been alive and well? We just wouldn't have known about it.
I think there was a lot of sin going on, but I'm not convinced that you had
Yeah.
a lot of people laying their soul down, saying, "I reject all good
Yeah.
for a lifestyle of darkness and evil." I mean, I know that what was that guy named Anton LaVey?
Yeah.
Who wrote
And
this?
LaVey,
Who wrote this Satanic Bible?
Didn't that start in the 80s?
Oh no, that was
Or is that the 70s? or
Now
before?
his daughter, she was going around promoting and speaking on the Church of Satan's behalf, but I don't I don't
I mean,
remember
there's
her.
government buildings that have honorary statues from the Church of Satan or whatever. You,
So I read this book years ago about this happened in the 80s about the daycare center in California where
oh
the
yeah.
children accused all the daycare workers of uh, sacrificing animals and abusing the kids,
Hmm.
and there was some sort of, it was like an occult situation, but come to find out later, the kids were kind of coaxed into that direction from these bloodthirsty attorneys, and they shut the school
Yeah.
down, and they tore down the whole building is gone, and there was a McDonald's that was kind of near there, and the children claimed a lot of things happened to that McDonald's, and I can remember on the news seeing them taking away the McDonald's playground equipment because they were closing that McDonald's down. They were removing the equipment. It just was sad to me. And then later I read a book that was total BS, just total crap.
That was
So,
the first time the idea of a repressed memory was injected into the zeitgeist.
Hmm.
okay.
Oh yeah, I would have told mom and dad, but
Yeah.
I didn't remember until this therapist or this lawyer started talking to me. But now I remember. Oh, that was repressed memory. Um, and Anton LaVey founded the Church of Satan in 1966.
Okay.
An atheistic philosophy centered on individualism, self indulgence, and personal freedom, using Satan as a symbol for the concepts, not a deity to be worshipped, promoting materialism and carnal existence over spiritual pursuits to be outlined in his book, The
Right.
Satanic
So you
Bible.
see, it's not that bad.
Do you remember that house up in uh there was a house up in near LJ, and there was this couple, these two guys lived together, and they claimed to be Satan worshipers, and someone broke into the house. I think just out of curiosity, and accidentally knocked the candle over, caught the whole place on fire, and it burned down. But I believe it may have killed one of the two guys, but it was just a big story. It went on the news for like the whole year that summer of, I think, around 87, 88.
Well, how do
But
you know?
it's
Yeah,
How
I
do you
don't
know the
remember that one.
person who broke in? It doesn't seem to be contested whether or not a person broke into the house, right? That's why I'm hearing this. Someone broke into the house. They weren't invited in.
I don't think they're invited in. No, and I just remember the name of
Well,
the estate was called Corpsewood.
so here would be my question: how you told when you were telling the story?
Yeah.
Why would it be assumed that they accidentally knocked a candle over if they broke into a house? Why wouldn't it be assumed that they committed arson?
I don't know. I don't know if that's it. Probably were assumed in the beginning,
Hmm.
and then later it was learned. Oh, a candle was knocked over, and that they knocked it over. I don't know. I don't know.
That seems like
But
a
that.
weird assumption in the story as the story's being told. Like a guy breaks into a house, we
Mhm.
know the house ends up burning down and someone gets killed, and
Yeah.
he accidentally knocked a candle over while breaking into a house.
I'm curious. I haven't thought about this in ages. I'm gonna look this up. I'll mute myself so you don't hear my click.
Okay.
So in
We're going to get to
1982,
the bottom of this damn
in
thing. You wait.
1982, Dr. Charles Shooter and his partner, yeah, and his partner Joey Odom were
What year, hey,
brutally
what year
murdered
again? Sorry.
at
What?
their secluded North Georgia home known as 1982. At their secluded North Georgia home known as Corpsewood Manor by Tony West and Avery Brock. The killers, visiting under false pretenses, murdered their pair amidst rumors of drug use, Satanism, and tales of a castle in the woods protected by demons.
Hmm.
But you know what? That the story there
Mhm.
wasn't the fact that they were murdered. I mean, yes, that was the cause for why it was on the news. But the reason I believe that that story went on for a year was because of the presumption of Satanism. I believe.
Oh, the Satanic Panic time, you mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
Satanic Panic. Yeah.
So it was open minded. They didn't care that there's two guys together. It was just We ain't trying to have Satan up in our woods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a mercy killing. Right? So it's called a mercy killing when you do something in the name of, your religion.
Are you saying their murder was a mercy killing? Is that what?
No, I'm saying in the eyes of the
Oh,
killer.
oh.
Maybe that's what they were, what they thought.
Yeah, I don't know. When you go up there under false
Funny you should
pretenses.
ask. I've got murdered West and Avery Brock on the other line. Let's ask them.
Are they Gen
if
Xers?
they're still alive.
Yeah.
I mean, they were around in '82. I don't, probably.
See the contradictory kids. We're bringing this home. At Gen X, we can acknowledge something horrible can happen, and we can be sarcastic and laugh at it at the same time.
There's also a Tony West who's a former attorney general. I don't think that was that guy.
If I had to choose, no. Well, gents, I was gonna wrap this one up now for the live. Shoot it in the head, sarcastically. It's over. I wish I had a gun sound.
It's a mercy killing.
Yeah. I think we need a mercy killing for this podcast. Any takers? Yeah. Well, hey, thanks to all the chat, all the involvement of nobody who was there, and we hope to see more people in the chat as we do this. We want to build the community and all that happy horse shit. So, from all of us to you, thanks for watching. Bye.